Well, hello, good evening, everyone. I think it's all ladies on here. I'm not sure if anyone else chimed in. I'm super excited to be here tonight and to be teaching with you guys or teaching the class with you guys. So we will need a ball. If you don't have a ball, grab a little couch pillow or a regular pillow. A smaller pillow would be ideal. And then grab a set of weights if you have them. If you don't, that is totally fine. And if you would like to take it a little bit easier on the class today, you don't have to use the weights at all. So it's definitely optional. We'll be doing some lateral work with our shoulders and a little bit of tricep work towards the end of class. So let's go ahead and get started and stand on up. We're gonna come more towards the back of the mat. It really doesn't matter so much, just have enough space on each side of you. Let's bring your ankles right underneath the hips. Go really tall through the spine. And just bring your hands down to your sides. And I just want you to sway side to, or forward and backwards, lifting the toes, and then sinking back into the heels. So we're just gonna start with a nice standing warm-up today, a little bit of bigger movements. So once we find our center, let's bring our fingertips reaching towards the earth, dropping the shoulders, and then drop your chin over or your cheek over to the left side. We'll just take a moment, and if you would like to grab a hold with your left hand and just gently give your head a little tug downwards, you'll get a better stretch in that side neck. So take just a moment here, and maybe bring the chin down towards the chest and bring the chin up towards the sky. We'll do this a few times. Taking a nice deep breath. And then releasing your head if you have it, and your hands, dropping the chin down towards the chest and then up towards the other side. Reaching that fingertips so that it'll be your left side this time, grabbing a hold of your head, gently pulling down, just ever so gently, it's just resting. And then bringing the chin downwards and bringing the chin upwards. We'll take a few more times. Just starting from the crown up or down and working our way down. And then releasing your hands, bringing the chin towards the chest. And let's just give our head a little circle. We can do little half moons or full circles all the way around. I got to get a hold of my words. They're a little slow, a little behind today. So just some nice big circles. And then bring your head back to neutral. Let's start rolling those shoulders back. Big rolls. Maybe a little bend in the knees. Let's go 3, for 2, and 1. Reach the arms to the sky. You're going to grab a hold of your right wrist and reach on over to your, I believe your left side. So I'm trying to mirror you here. Pressing those hips on out. Take a moment. Take an inhale. Exhale a little bit deeper and then reach towards the sky. Grab a hold of that other wrist and reach on over. Pressing those hips up over to the other side. Take just a moment, one more breath. A little bit deeper. Reaching the fingertips towards the sky. We're going to take a little squat, bringing the elbows in. And then reaching the left arm up, the right knee up. And come on down. And lift, kind of little qigong movements here, down and up. Working on a little instability, a little balance work here, down and up. Just bending, sinking those hips backwards. Reaching opposite arms. Let's go 2 and 1. And reaching the arms towards the sky, bring them down towards your sides, and let's just take a little sway side to side. Releasing through the spine so the arms are just nice and heavy. Let's go 3, for 2, and 1. Come through center. Let's widen our stance a little bit wider. So toes are pointing forward, reach those arms out to a T. And then now with a nice strong core, a little bit more control, we're going to rotate right to left, but keeping those hip points pointing forwards. So side to side, working on that mobility of that torso. Reaching back, looking behind you, working on that neck rotation. Let's go 3. Breathe, exhale 2. Exhale back and 1. Bring the arms up towards the sky into a nice, we're like in a starfish. Taking your left arm, we're gonna rotate into saw. So standing saw, rotating to the opposite pinky, and then rolling your spine up. Your knees might be slightly bent here, reaching to the sky, other side. We dive on down, reaching towards that other pinky. And then rolling your spine up one vertebra at a time. Let's do one more each way. This time I want you to grab a hold of your ankle and hold for just a moment. Look towards the sky, get that nice rotation. Do your best. And then roll your spine back up. We'll go to the other side. Rolling on down, grab a hold of that opposite ankle. Looking to the sky, or do your best. If it's your thigh, that's fine. Take a moment, breathe. And then rolling your spine on up right here, arms to the sky. Let's take a roll down with wide legs. So tuck the chin and roll the spine on down. One vertebra at a time. Soft bends in your knees if you need to. Hands touch the floor. I want you to just shift forward and backwards, getting into those hamstrings for just a moment. Let your head hang heavy. So the wide leg forward folds. And let's take opposite elbows and just sway side to side. Let your head hang heavy. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Just releasing that low back. And then we'll find our way towards center. Bring the hands down towards the floor and roll your spine back up one vertebra at a time. We're gonna add some bigger movements in here. Roll those shoulders back into place. Widen your stance just a bit wider. So we're a bit wider than the mat. And we're gonna start to bend in one knee and then the other. Maybe you reach one arm forward and then the other arm back. So it's a side lunge. Both toes are pointing forwards. If this is small movement for you, make it small. If it's big, maybe you could get down a little bit lower with me, reaching. Getting into those hips, sinking the glutes backwards rather than forwards. Good, so really reaching, getting the booty backwards. Reaching those arms. Let's go 3. I like to add some bigger movements in at first, getting that more flexibility in the body, warming it up. One more time. Let's reach over to the right, bending into that right leg. Reach that arm up and over. Take a moment, look towards the sky. A little side angle. Breathe, maybe your heart rate's up just a little bit. And then back to that other side. We're gonna rotate up and over towards the other side. I guess not back too, but over to the other side. Take a moment. Good. And then come back through center. We're going to heel to those feet in a little bit. Coming into a deeper squat. So number 1 here, if you want to be right here, we're going to bend and straighten. Number 2, if you can bring your hands to the floor, we're going to bend and straighten. If you can, and if it's in your ability, bringing those hips all the way down into a deep squat. Reaching the hips towards the sky. So number 1 right here. Number 2 right here. Number 3, deep squat. What works for your body? This is your practice. Just take what works for you today. Let's go 2. And last one, hips rise, heel toes, feet back in. Roll your spine on up. Hopefully you're feeling warm. Let's step forward and onto your seat. Shake it out. Very nice. We're going to come to some bridging. So whether you have a pillow or the ball, bring that ball right in between the thighs. So it's not super close. It's not on the knees. It's a little bit downwards. So bring in the heels in. Bring in those seats close. Grab the backs of your thighs. Let's roll our spines on down. I'm not sure why I have socks on. You guys roll on down. We'll take those guys off. All right. It was cold earlier. Heels in, ball in between, hands to your sides. Your heads are down looking towards the ceiling. Now we're in that just basic laying prep for bridge. Soles of the feet stay on the floor, so does your hips. I want a little space under that low back, and I just want you to start squeezing that ball. Squeeze and squeeze. So the reason we're just laying here, just a little activation in the inner thighs. When we squeeze the ball or the pillow, it naturally activates those inner thighs, but it also naturally activates that pelvic floor. So really, really important to focus on the pelvic floor, your deepmost core center, that transverse abdominis, all of those muscles cinching in to find that core and just work from the inside out. So finding that little squeezes, breathe. Really nice firm squeezes. See if you can really feel that pelvic floor cinching in each time you squeeze.
We're gonna go 3 and 2 and 1. Hold the squeeze, rolling into a bridge. So tucking the pelvis under, imprinting your spine, rolling your hips up 1 vertebra at a time. Keep that squeeze on the ball. And then gently rolling your spine down 1 vertebra at a time, untucking at the bottom. Finding that natural curve, tucking the pelvis under, rolling your spine, really engage through the buns. Squeezing into that ball, rolling your spine on down. Let's go 4 more times on your own, rolling in your own rhythm, your own pace. So ideally, once you come into that nice high bridge, the knees, the hips, and the shoulders align. If you're a little lower than that, that's okay. Whatever works for your practice today. So let's go 1 more time. We'll meet at the top and take some little pulses, lifting. So the hips are pulsing upwards, 1 inch, 1 inch, lifting. If you would like a little extra, your hands can reach towards the sky. If you'd like a little less, hands to the floor, little pulses. Let's go 4, 3, work in that backside. 2, hold it up. We squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So the hips stay lifted, the buns are firing, and we're working those inner thighs. Squeeze, squeeze. Are your ribs knitted down? Breathe, squeeze. Let's go 4. We're gonna hinge without a roll down. So your hips are gonna tap in just a moment. In 3, squeeze, 2, and 1. We lift and lower, or lower and lift. Other direction, so up and down. Now we're full range. Hips tap, hips lift. Hips tap, hips lift. Let's go 4. The bun should be firing for 3, for 2. Hold it up right here. We pulse for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Hold it up. We squeeze for 10, for 9. We're gonna add a little element into this. Keep squeezing. Yeah, 5 more. Stay right here. Or if you'd like to extend a leg, 1 leg at a time. So hold that squeeze, extend just nice and straight. The ball stays where it's at. And then extend the other leg. If the marching doesn't work for you, just keep the bridge. That's perfectly fine. Extend. If your arms are up, you're working a bit harder. If your arms are down, you have a little bit more support. Let's go 3, for 2, ooh-wee. Last one, roll your spine down gently, hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a break. Take just a moment. Let's release the ball for just a second. Keep it in your hands, bring your heels to the outsides of the mat, and let's windshield wiper. Just to release that for a moment, we're gonna do a bit of inner thigh work today. So getting those inner thighs, those trouble areas, they're hard to work. So let's squeeze that ball again. We're gonna stay laying down. Let's bring both toes up into a tabletop position. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more sideways for you. So we're right here. Everyone, if you can, bring your fingertips towards the sky. The hands are here for instability. You can bring them down at any time. Let's squeeze and squeeze. Back to that inner thigh activation. Now we might have our whole backs touching the mat in an imprint. If you can keep a neutral pelvis here, that's fine. I just don't want anybody's back hurting. So if you need to, you can bring the knees in a little bit more. Let's squeeze. For 4, 3, 2, deep core, and 1. Both legs to the sky if you can. And squeeze and squeeze. Your head stays on the floor the whole time. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to bend, squeeze, extend, squeeze. Bend, squeeze, extend, squeeze. Keep it going. Breathe through it. Ribs are knitted in. The belly's engaged. Let's go 4, up, squeeze. For 3, up, squeeze. For 2, 1 more time. The legs stay long. Hold them up here. Nice and long, and we squeeze. If you need a bent knees, absolutely, that's fine. Let's go 4, 3, 2, up in the ante a little bit. We're gonna drop the legs 2 inches. Lift the legs back up. Drop them 2 inches. Now, if you need to bend your knees right here, it's right here, 2 inches. That's the modification. Hands on the floor, a modification. Take this where you need to be today. Breathe, ribs knit down. Let's go 3. It's just a little drop for 2, And for one, hug those knees into your chest. Ooh, give those hips a little swirl here, your belly a little break. Now we're gonna bring that ball right in between the ankles. Legs extend or they can be softly bent, your choice. We're gonna rotate and rotate. So the ball or the pillow is gonna kind of rotate in between those ankles. Rotate and rotate. Hands can be on the floor if you like. Let's go for 3, for 2, and 1. Hug the knees in. Excellent, rock it out. All right, soles of the feet back to the floor. Let's lift those hips up nice and high so that ball or the pillow, your choice, is gonna come right underneath that sacrum. So it's not your lower back and it's not your tush, it's right in between. So it's right under there, and then when you bring the legs up to a tabletop, it should feel pretty stable. If it doesn't feel stable, bring yourself forward or bring yourself back a little bit. So just make sure it's not well into the mid back at all. So legs to a tabletop. I love this exercise variations because it takes a lot of strain off the low back. So that's why I chose that today. So the head stays down the whole time, the hands stay down for support. We're gonna drop one toe at a time on the floor. One toe at a time, belly is drawn in. This is a beautiful way to modify, but also get that nice deep core work. So just one toe and then the other toe. Let's go for 3, keeping that nice 90 degrees for 2, and for 1 tabletop. We're gonna extend one leg and then the other leg. If this does not work for you, you can come a little higher right here to the sky. You can also just keep on with that first variation. We reach and reach. Really reach that toe nice and long. Get that stretch in those hip flexors and pull it back in. Keep those ribs in. Let's go for 3, for 2, for 1. Hug the knees in for just a brief second. We're gonna up the ante a little bit. So we're just incrementally making things a little bit harder. So bring both toes towards the sky. And we're gonna drop one leg and the other leg. So single straight leg stretch. Drop one and then the other. Once again, if this is where you're at today, you can go back to here. You can come back to the bent knees. Externally rotate if you can, working more in that Pilates V. Drop and drop. Let's go 5. Make sure the belly is engaged and the spine is not hurting at all, the low back. Let's go 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Hug the knees in. Take a moment. Take a breath. It feels really good. It gives you a little bit of a relief in the lower back once you pull the knees in. So here we are, back to that tabletop position. Let's bring both toes towards the sky. We're gonna circle away from each other, little circles, making like maybe volleyball-sized circles in the ceiling. Circle it out. Let's go 4, for 3, for 2. We're gonna go the other direction, and 1. Other way, circle and circle. It's just towards the ceiling, so we're not getting super low. Definitely not getting so much into that low back. Let's go for 4, for 3. Keep it in the belly. For 2, for 1. Hug it in. We're gonna get deep into our inner thighs. Instead of mooning or flashing you guys, I'm gonna turn over a little bit. We're gonna open up our thighs. So staying in this position, we're gonna bring our legs to the sky. Now, option here, you can bend your knees and come out and in. Otherwise, straight legs or a subtle bend. The straighter you go, the more the inner thighs work a little bit. So legs are straight, externally rotate, toes turn outwards, inner thighs open. We're gonna open 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you can see that. Open, open, close, close. So we're opening out nice and wide into a straddle. And heels in, toes out. Good, I just don't want to flash you here. Heel in, toe out. Heel in, toe out. We're just relaxing the upper body, working into those inner thighs. This exercise is far easier with the ball underneath their hips, so take advantage of it, but also work it. I want you to really feel those inner thighs pulling in and pulling out. We're gonna do quite a few of these, so hang in there. Let's do about 15 more. So drop out and in. Repetition, high repetition in Pilates is important. Getting that burn, elongating those muscles. Drop and lift. Let's go for 10 more. For 10, point and flex. Point and flex, really pulling those inner thighs in, keeping those legs straight and the belly engaged. Let's go 5. We're gonna pulse in 4. For 3, hopefully you're feeling this in those inner thighs. The straighter those legs go, the more you feel it. And 1, let's hold right here, we pulse. Pulse, let's flex those feet. Pulse, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold the straddle, pull down with your hands. Let's point and flex those feet. Give your ankles a little roll out. Awesome work. We have one more thing with our hips lifted. I'm gonna maneuver myself. You guys stay right where you're at. Diamond shape with those toes. We're gonna bring the toes together and the knees out. We'll drop. You can tap the toes, or this might be a 2-inch drop down. So either tap the toes, the knees are apart, the toes are together. Drop and lift, last thing with this ball here. Pull that belly in. Let's go 5. You don't have to tap the floor, it could be much less than that. For 4, 3, for 2, hold that belly in. And last 1, excellent job. Pull those knees well into those chests. My foot's cramping. Wiggle out those ankles. Now you're gonna lengthen your right leg nice and long. Pull the left knee into the chest. If you have the other one, that's fine as well. Try not to fall off the ball. And try to relax this hip flexor. So this is a nice, one of my very favorite hip flexor stretches. Such a nice kind of yoga pose. So pull in. This is for complete relaxation. So I really want you just to relax that ankle on the floor. Pull it in, release those hip flexors. We're gonna be using them a little bit in a standing segment. And let's go ahead and bring that other leg down and pull the other knee into the chest. Maybe giving the ankles a wiggle, maybe finding your balance if you're falling off sideways. I like myself. Relaxing that other hip flexor. Take just a moment. And little cranky toes are cramping. Gotta take better care of my feet. Let's go 3, 2, and now just lay both legs down. The hips lift with the ball, just keep it here. You might even consider bringing your arms over your head for just a quick break. Give that belly a nice release. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Soles of the feet come to the floor. Lift those hips on up, take the ball away, rolling your spine on down. Set it aside, give your knees a little squeeze. Rock it side to side. We're gonna take the backs of our thighs or our shins, curl into like a little tight ball and give yourself a little rock on your spine. The more you turn into like a little roly-poly, the more gracious it is on your spine. So if this doesn't feel good, you can just come to a seat, you can lay on your back, whatever works. Next one, we're gonna come all the way up. Take a little butterfly, a little forward fold. Rolling your spine on up. Let's go and come on forward. So we're gonna come onto your belly now, all the way down. We're gonna make a pillow with your hands. Make a pillow, get comfy. We're gonna lengthen the legs out. So I want your feet flexed. I want the toes tucked on the floor. You can tuck your pelvis under a little bit, protecting that lower back. I don't want the low back hurting here. So if you need to modify a little bit less range of motion, that's fine. We're gonna alternate lifting one leg and then the other leg. So we're squeezing through the buns, lifting and lifting. Now those knees are stick straight. If you have a tendency to wanna just do this thing, no bending. I don't want the knees bent, I want straight legs, stick straight. So when you lift, the glutes are turned on, they're firing. The upper back or the upper body is just relaxing here. Except for the core, however, still turned on. The lift, I want those buns firing before the hamstrings, so pay attention to those. Let's go 3, for 2, and 1. Now we're gonna alternate out, whoops, in, I slipped in my way, out, in,
in, out, in. Let's go 2 on this side, 2 more. Out, in. We switch directions. So if you're going the other direction, go this way, in, out. In, out. Keep those legs straight. Keep those buttons firing. Let's go 3, for 2, and 1. Everything lifts. Point your toes, lift and lower. You can also keep them flexed if you like. My toes are being cranky today. Lift and lift for 3, for 2, and 1. Bend the knees, crisscross. Nice little glute work. Now, this next movement is a little bit challenging. We're going to really work on that thoracic spine. So right in between the shoulder blades, that upper spine. Lengthen the legs on out. The forehead stays glued to the hands. We're going to lift both hands off the mat and bring them both down. Now, if you need to modify this, feel free to take a cobra right here. Much more gentle on that spine. Otherwise, follow me here. Lift and lower. Working into an extension is not easy. This is a very hard movement. Down and up. Let's go for 3. Breathe in 2. Hold it up right here. Hold. Maybe 1 inch higher. Take a rest. Bend the knees, crisscross with the ankles. I like to crisscross. If you like a windshield wiper, they're both effective. All right, 1 remainder thing on the belly. Let's lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. We're gonna swim it out. So everything lifts. If you need to modify, modification right here. Full variation, legs lift, arms lift, right here. Another modification is right here. You can swim it out with bent arms. So take your pick. What works for your body today? Try to keep the shoulders out of the ears. Breathe your gazes downwards. Lifting through those thighs. So once again, it's not the knees bending. It's the thighs that are lifting. Through those glutes for 10, 9, 8, 7, breathe, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and take a rest. Hands under the shoulders, gently from your knees, push yourself up, roll your spine back. Child's pose, take a moment here, shake it out. Walk over to your right or left side, either way. Get a side body bend, stretch. We're gonna walk over to the other side, stretch it on out. A little posterior work is always amazing for the body. Roll your spine on up, shake those shoulders out. For 3, for 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna come to stand. Grab some water if you need it. You can grab weights. I'm gonna use 3 pounds. If you want 1 pound, 2 pounds, no pounds, your choice. So once you're ready, come join me with your weights or without your weights, or with water bottles or soup cans. We have options. All right, let's just tap it out. Let's move our body a little bit. Sway around, get a little groovy. You're by yourself, so hips sway side to side, get the shoulders moving. Let's go 3, for 2, for 1. We're gonna find some stability on your movement, not over a little bit here. All right, so standing nice and tall. I think you can see my head in the picture here. We're gonna start with your left leg. So I'm gonna start with my right. You can start with your left. You can start with whatever side you want. We're just gonna do one side at a time. So we're gonna do hammer curls with a knee raise. So lift. Now options here. If that balance is really challenging for you, you can certainly just tap and come back. Tap and come back. Otherwise, can you get that knee up there? I want you to feel that little reverse crunch as we come up. So we're not out of our core. This is Pilates. We stay in the core the whole time. So the core is keeping us balanced. It's keeping us upright. Add in those nice bicep curls. Not a death grip, but a nice squeeze on those biceps. So palms are facing inwards. Lift and lift. Let's go 4. Remember that tap if you get tired. Remember, you can always ditch your weights for 3. Squeeze for 2. We hold it up right here. Hold it. We open to the side and close. Modifiers right here.
open, close. Now keep those elbows tight. I want to keep them nice and tight. Work on those rotator cuffs. So they're not out here. We're not putting a lot of strain on the shoulders right now. Really squeeze the shoulder blades back. Ooh, find that balance. Let's go for 3. I apparently can't balance right now. For 2, hold it open right here, down and up. The tap and lift. Tap and lift. Probably better off my mat. Let's go for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it down. We're gonna do a lateral raise, palms facing inwards with a leg raise. Lift. Oops. Let me find, you guys keep going. Lift. Straight leg once again. If your lift is right here, and maybe those arms are without the weights, or maybe they're little half lifts. Your choice. Working that anterior deltoid. Externally rotate, so we're a little bit turned out of those thighs. Keep it lifting. Working those inner thighs, a little theme of the day, little inner thigh work. Let's go 3, for 2, and 1. We're gonna take it sideways. So flex that foot, we lift. So instead of doing our side laying series, we're doing it standing. If you need to take a little break, you can shake it out. My calf personally is like screaming at me. Haven't done the standing work in a little bit. Good, lift. Try to get those weights parallel if you can. And ditch them if you need to. Working the outer buns here, those outer glutes, outer thighs. Let's go for 3. Are you breathing heavy? For 2, my heart rate's up a little bit. And 1, whew. All right, we're gonna take it back. Straight arms, keeping the palms face inwards, we lift. We're gonna hinge forward a little bit. So make sure, right here, lift. And lift. Hips are pretty even. I'm really out of balance today. So if you need a tap, right here, tap. And tap. That's fine. Or you float. Float. Work into those glutes. Let's go 5. For 4, we're gonna do around the world in a moment. For 3, for 2, all directions. And 1, we take it forward. We take a side tap. We take it back. We take it forward. We take a side. Ooh. We take it back one more time. Forward. We take a side. We take it back. Both feet come together. Ooh, shake it out. Palms face backwards. We're standing up tall, subtle bend in those knees. Chest expansion, press it back. In, back. So we're not here right now. We're nice and upright with a little bend. Press. Press. So squeezing those shoulder blades back. Really press. We're not coming so far past those glutes. Try to keep it back. Another thing, shoulders back and down. Keep them down. Strong belly. Tucking under, all the things to think about. We're gonna hinge in a moment. Triceps for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hinge. Palms face in again. Elbows tuck. So here we are. Extend. Halfway forward, all the way back. Keep that contraction on those triceps. Squeeze. Squeeze. So we are hinged now. We are hinged halfway. Extend. Roll those shoulders back. Let's go 5. We're going to pulse it out for 4, for 3, for 2. Little pulses right here. Micro bends. Micro bends as booties are sitting back. Can you lift your toes for 5, 4, 3, 2. Whoo, we take a break. All right, we have another side. Shake it out. Tap side to side. Ditch the weights if you need to. Let's take a quick break just for a sip, and then we'll get back to it. So at least I need a break for a little water sip. Okay, yeah, and now it's running away from me. Let's go. We have the other side to do. So find your center, shake it on out. Here we go. What did we start? Bicep curl this time. Supinated, meaning palm faces up. Let's go lift. Remember that tap option right there for you, tap. Good. So it's nice to add in weights with Pilates, get that little extra burn, and get those arms a little bit more sculpted, getting them stronger. Breathe. Really squeeze, be deliberate. So you could easily just wing it and be right here. I want you to go nice and slow. I want you to be deliberate. Pilates is all about precision, alignment, core balance, finding the strength in your body. Let's go 3, we're gonna open it up. In 2, we hold at the top. And 1, actually let's pulse it for just a moment. And then we're gonna open it. Let's go 4, 3, 2, hold those elbows tightly open. We close. We open, we close. Remember, modifiers right here. No weights, that's an option. Open and close. If those arms are getting tired, that's fine, but do challenge yourself. Good, let's go for 3, for 2, for when we hold it open, we lift and lower. The arms are nice and wide. Ooh, tap, lift for 4. For 3, we're gonna take it forward. For 2, for 1, bring it on in. Same thing, little external rotation. Pilates, we lengthen those bodies up nice and long. Let's go palms face up. We're gonna lift and lift and lift. If you wanna tap like I am, this is my bad side, if you can believe it. I was a little wobbly on that other side. Lift. Let's go 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1, we go to the side, palms face down. Let's lift, flex that foot. You can flex and point if you like. Maybe that leg stays floating, and lift. And lift, working those arms. You don't even have your weights, you're still working those arms. You're still working those shoulders. Find that balance. Bring that foot down to the earth if that's what works. That's what works for me right now. Let's go 3. Couch is in the way for 2. Last 1 right here. Arms are straight. We lift. We lift. So we have that hinge again. Remember, right here, lift and lift. If there wasn't a couch in my way, lift and lift. For 5. For 4, keep it up. For 3. For 2, around the world's right here. We lift, and back, and front, and side, and back, and front, and side, whoops, and back. Let's go 2 more times for good measure. And back, 1 more time. Lift, and lift, and lift, and feet down. Shake it out. Hoo-wee. All right. Find that straight spine, a little bend in the knees. Let's do palms face forward and press, and press. Back to here, shoulders down. They're easily creeped up here. I don't want them there. I want them down, get them down. Ribs down, press, and press. Chest expansion is really about that whole back body. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. Get those shoulders down. We're working on posture here. For 4, for 3, for 2, we hinge. Right here, booty sits back. Knees aren't forward, we're not here. We're here now, elbows back. Palms face back. And press, and press, and press. For 5, for 4, we pulse in. 3, for 2, baby pulses. Pulse, pulse. Ooh, 5, 4, 3, 2, we stand on up. Ooh. Shake the shoulders out. Awesome effort, awesome work. Take a moment. Oh, let's set those weights off to the side. If you had a hold of them, shake out the wrists. Give them a little funny, goofy shake here. Shake it out. Pedal the legs. Take a moment. While we're standing, let's do just a little bit of calf work. Feet are going to be width apart. And I just want you to lift and lower. And lift and lower, working into the calves. We generally want to fall out to the outside of the toes. Try to get more into the big ball mounds of the feet. We lift and lift and lift. Try to really get those heels up there. Let's go 4. For 3, we're gonna hold it up. In 2, can you balance? Can you fly those arms towards the sky? Ooh-wee. Can you look to your left? Can you look to your right? Center and down. Step your right foot forward, your left foot back. Give that a little stretch. You can keep the back heel down. I want you to micro bend in the back knee and straighten. You're gonna get more into that Achilles tendon. Bend and straighten, toes forward. Let's go 2. And 1, stretch. Step forward, step back. Stretch it out. Heel down, it stays down. The back knee slightly bends and straightens. For 3, for 2, and 1. Perfect. Let's come down to our knees. All right. How we all doing? I hope we're hanging in there. We're almost done with class. Shake it out. We're gonna come to all fours. We're gonna do a little booty work. So wrists down. If you have things that you want to, like weights, for instance, if this is a little rough on your wrists, feel free to take your weights, or if you have push-up bars, whatever you need to do. We're gonna come bring your knees right underneath your hips. I'm gonna turn this sideways again. I got all cattywampus here, so you can see a little bit more of the side angle. So keeping the spine really long the whole time. Palms down. Turn those hands out a little bit. Pull the shoulders into your sockets. Pull the belly up to the spine. Let's start with your left leg. I'm gonna start with my right, so we're mirroring. You wanna start with the other one, that's fine too. So we're not lifting our hips here. We're keeping a nice and even press towards the sky. If you want a little extra, you can take that ball, put it behind your ankle or your knee for a moment, or the weights. We're gonna be right here, but we are gonna extend our legs, so you can be right here for a moment if you want to do that. Let's go for 3, for 2. We're gonna pulse it right here. Little pulses, lift, lift. Try to keep the hips down. You're gonna really wanna hike. Try to keep them nice and even. Let's go 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Let's extend. Pull it in. Extend. Pull it in. Good. So this is the hamstring curl. The knee isn't dropping. It's staying pretty in alignment here. So right here, staying in that nice line. Let's go. For 4, keep it going. Don't give up. For 3, we're gonna keep that leg nice and long. 2, and 1, nice and long, down and up we go. Lift and lift. Try not to let the belly sag. It's gonna wanna do that. Your low back's gonna wanna do this archy thing. Don't let it do it. Breathe, connect with your core. All part of it. The whole body is really working here. Let's go 4, for 3, for 2, out and into the side, out to the side, to the center, side and center, like a rainbow. Can you lift that leg up higher? It's gonna wanna drag. Push past that discomfort. Let's go 3, for 2, not of the spine, of course, just the glutes. And 1, pull it in, push it back, child's pose, shake it out. Oh, I'm a little sweaty. I hope you guys are. We're gonna come back to all fours. I got my heater on. I got hot yoga going on in here. Lengthen through the spine, shoulders back and down. We have another side. So whatever you need to do it. We're gonna get into it. Right here, other side. Just donkey kick the ceiling. Hold that belly in. And donkey kick. Breathe. And lift. And lift. Really solid through the buns, through the shoulders. Are those shoulders creeping into your ears? I don't want them to. I want them to pull down. So really solid through that upper body. Let's go 5 more. For 5. For 4, are you feeling that squeeze of the glute? Is it active? Is it more in your hamstring? Try to get out of that hamstring. A little bit more into the glute. Let's go 2 and 1. Hold it up. We lengthen. So now this is the hamstring curl. I still want that glute firing. Curl out and in, out and in. That knee is up. We're extending forward and back. Let's go for 3. We're gonna keep that leg nice and long for 2. And 1, leg stays nice and long. We drop and lift. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. Keeping the spine nice and long. For 4. For 3, belly pulls in. For 2. Out to the side, so you're going out and in. I think you're on your right leg. We're on the opposite. Get out and in. Let's go 4. For 3, find that breath. For 2, and for 1, pull it in, press it out, take a break, well-deserved break. Oh, relax the arms, shake it out, just kind of wiggle side to side. Let's walk ourselves over to the left for just a moment for a quick stretch. And over to the right because it feels good. Let's come through center. Let's take a few cat cows here. We're gonna do one more power pose before we under practice. Rounding through the spine. Drop the belly, lift the heart. Good, so getting into some more strength of the upper body. Let's find a nice neutral spine. We're gonna tuck our toes under. If this doesn't work for you, you can come into a modified plank right here, bringing those hips down. You can hang out here. You can also be on your forearm. So otherwise, we're gonna stay on all fours. Tucking the toes under, pulling the belly in. This is my favorite form of a plank variation. We're gonna lift those knees off the mat and hold. I think this is far harder than normal plank, but I also think that you dive into the core a little bit more. So really hold strong here. It's also really great for strengthening those shoulders. So just take a moment. If we're in modified plank, wherever you're at, we have 15 more seconds. Hold strong, breathe. Maybe you shift forward and back a little bit. For 5 and 4, 3, 2, knees down. Beautiful. Let's bring those knees nice and wide. Let's reach those arms forward, settle your chest down, and then bring the forehead to the mat. Take a rest. Excellent work, everyone. We are going to stretch our bodies now. So good. Wherever you're at today, be proud of that. Such strong bodies. Just being proud of showing up to your mat today, for being present. Just taking this time for yourself. And gently roll your spine back up, so bringing the hands back towards your hips. We're going to come onto our seat. Let's lengthen out the legs into a forward fold. So get your tush out from underneath you. Bend your knees if you need to. Lengthen them if you can. Active quads, turn them on. Lengthen through the spine. And then start walking yourself forward. And then once your spine doesn't keep straight anymore, just kind of let it go. Fold over your feet. Grab your toes if you can. Grab your shins. Wherever you can reach. If a deep bend in your knees feels good, take it. That is totally fine. Oh, take a nice deep breath. Fold into it. And then we'll roll our spines back up. Draw the left ankle in towards the groin. And we're going to reach the arm, palm faces upwards as far as it goes, and then a nice little side bend. So if you're upright, if you're just right here, that's okay. If you need to bend your knees, that's okay. Just take a moment. Breathe. Looking up towards the sky. And we're going to bring the hand behind you. Sweep the arm up and around. Lift your hips towards the sky. Open your heart. Now we're going to swing on down. Bring that leg back. So I think it's your right leg. Or whatever side. We're going to come into mermaid now. So try to get on your sits bones. If that doesn't work, or if this mermaid thing doesn't work at all, this like just stays extended. So you can just be right here. Otherwise, if this works for you, we're going to take mermaid up and over. And then up and over the other side. Bringing the forearm down. Lack of space in here. And up and over. And back the other way. Let's hang out for a moment here. We're going to bring our chest down towards the earth. And bring your chest up towards the sky. Bring it back down. Bring it back up. Up and over to the other side. Open the heart. And bring it back in. So let's untuck that leg. I want you just to bring it all the way around. extend that bottom leg if you need to. So this foot's on the earth. Whatever way you're going here, we're gonna bring your left arm over. So if you're opposite of me, reach the hand above you, twist behind you. So the leg that's crossed over, the arm is twisting towards. Looking behind you, lengthening up through the spine. Take a nice deep breath, a nice deep twist. And then we'll release from this other side. Let's lengthen that. I believe it would be your left leg. Reach the palm faces upwards, up and over we go. Open your heart towards the sky. Take just a moment. Take a breath, maybe a little deeper fold. We're gonna bring the arm behind you, lift your hips towards the sky. Open your heart if it feels good. We're gonna come back down into that other side. So bend that knee or keep it straight. Mermaid works in both directions. We're gonna come up and over, bending to the left or the right. And then up and over. Just a couple more times, working through that side bend. Last time, each direction. And right here, we're gonna hold here. Maybe the fingertips on the floor, maybe the forearm. And we're just gonna rotate down and rotate up. Rotate down, rotate up. Other side, just open the heart towards the sky. Come back around, swing that bottom leg, pull the other one in. Modifiers right here. If you have cranky knees, that's fine. All right. If you're crossed like this, try to get both sit bones on the floor. That opposite leg arm, opposite, so top leg crosses, opposite arm crosses. Lengthen, look behind. Really lengthen, twist to that spine. Take a moment. So important to stretch the body in all the different directions. Take a nice deep breath. Go. Bring it back through center. While we have the ball or a pillow, I want you to come into a laying position. Bring that ball right in between the shoulder blades. So right there. Lengthen the legs or keep them bent, your choice. Allow, if it feels okay, allow your head to fall down towards the earth and allow the pecs to open up. So once you're here, you have an option just to splay your hands out towards the side. If you'd like to take an angel, reaching the arms up over your head and then your elbows back down towards your ribs. Take that nice openness of the chest. Let the ribs splay. Let it go, reaching and pulling in. Finding your breath. Let's go. 3 and 2 and 1. Allowing the arms just to fall to your sides. If they're not there already, hang out here for just another beat. And then bring the soles of your feet down to the earth. Keep the ball where it's at. You're gonna lift your head on up. Scooch your seat forward a little bit. Hug your knees into your chest. This is a really nice assisted little ball, little chest lift without the effort. Hug it nice and tight. You're just gonna grab a hold of the shins nice and tight. Push into it. Come to a seat. Let's sit up nice and tall. We'll take a nice, I'm gonna come center here. Come center, inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. 2 more times, big inhale. Exhale. Let it go, stressors, tension. 1 more time, full inhale. Exhale it all out, let it go. Release tension. Take this moment to appreciate yourself, your body, for all it does for you in life. It carries you through this world. It's an amazing thing. And thank yourself so much for showing up today and for being here. And I thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you. Hopefully that was a lovely workout for you guys and your bodies feel good. If you want to unmute yourselves, feel free to do that. And I'm happy to have a little chat with anybody that has any questions.
Just want to say thank you, Stephanie. That was great.
Yeah, you're
So
welcome.
glad you did it.
Yes, good.
I like the inner thigh work. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the inner thigh. I do it a lot in my class because it's an area that we don't get very much. So
Yeah.
it's a hard area to target. So yeah.
Yay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.